All right, this will serve as the first training tape for the 2023 football season. I hope everyone enjoyed their off season, was a safe one and a healthy one. But now it's time to start getting our minds ready because the football season is probably about 2 months away here, and we need to do our prep because, as always, the games are challenging and physically and mentally. Now with clock rules and updated rules on enforcements on fouls behind the line of scrimmage. But what I'm going to focus on today is our end of half and end of game mechanics, because we can work a great game for 44 minutes, but if we don't do a good job on either side of the half, whether the end of the first or end of the game, it really reflects bad on us, and it doesn't really matter how good of a job we did earlier in the game. If we don't end the half or end the game well, we're looked upon as failed during the game. And with games being tighter than ever, we have to make sure that we're aware of the clock situations. But a few reminders that we need to go into this. And referees, I strongly urge you to talk about end of half or end of game mechanics during your pregame. It will benefit you immensely because you basically go through all of your mechanics and rules in a shorter, condensed version. But what are some things that can happen at the end of the half or the game? We have to be aware of the timeout situation. In this situation, in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that both teams have 2 timeouts. Okay, the team with the ball is down 1 point. Okay, why is the timeout situation good? Because we don't want to grant a timeout to someone who doesn't have one. Or we want to make sure that a coach knows that, coach, it's third down. You want to use one of your timeouts after this play. It helps put a tickler in their mind, and it helps them understand that you know what's going on in this game. Okay? What are our clock options under 2 minutes if there's a foul? If the offended team gets the option to start the clock on the snap, no matter if it's the offense or defense. That's for under 2 minutes. Knowing down and distance is crucial for the wing officials, because if they're in or out of bounds and they make the line of game, the clock either starts on the ready or the snap. Well, if the offense is on the other side of the field of where that occurs and it's tight to the sideline, they may not know that they need to hurry their offense up to spike the ball, or can they take their time and call a play because the clock's not going to start until the snap. So it's good. That's a good use of our O2O in those situations, and don't just use the ball out of bounds. You spotted or ball in bounds. That you can't see that far. It's very difficult with all these players on the crowded sidelines. We all have to be clock watchers. The field judge has the game clock, but we are all responsible for the clock. If you grant a coach a timeout, you should look at the clock as you're signaling the timeout. Even on a first down, if you're aware enough to look at the clock, or you're killing the clock to see what it is, we all have to be aware. The field judge should be I like to think, and I'm going to hold my ears and close my eyes when I say this, but I like to think that the field judge keeps the clock the entire game, but I know realistically most of them only keep it under 5 minutes of the half in the game. Just get in the habit of keeping it the whole game. The one time it's going to save your crew. Okay, one ball mechanics. When we start getting under 2 minutes, or wherever you decide, 3 or 2 minutes, umpires need to hustle sideline to sideline to get the ball and put the ball down and get into position. And when I always say that, we need to get in position. Wings don't need to pinch in as much unless it's a critical spot. Referees, you need to get in position. The first play illustrates that perfect. Okay, here we have the running clock, 2 timeouts for each team. Team with the ball's down 1 point, and the clock's running, and the offense is ready to snap the ball, and the referee's not in the position. Okay, how did that referee count 11? Did he really count 11? We have to be perfect in these situations because the team dictates it. 1st and 10 on the 17. I'm a wing official. I know I got to go from the 17 to the 27-yard line. Put those in your head. As we see here, we get a nice run up the middle for a couple-yard gain. We get to about the 20-yard line maybe. Head linesman comes in with his hand up. Referees, you don't need to come in and get the ball here. Let the umpire come in and get the ball. Set the ball down. We're at the Looks like we're about the 19-yard line, so we got 2nd and 8 at the 19. We have a long 5. What does a long 5 mean? Long 5, short 5. Some people use 5 get you 1. A long 5 means, obviously, the line to gain is obviously greater than 5 yards. If it's a short 5, we know that a simple 5 by the defense, such as an encroachment, will get the team a first down. Those are good communication tools, again, to use with your crew. So here we have the clock is running with about 3:19 to go in the game. 2nd down and 8 at the 19. We have a run in the backfield where the forward progress is stopped, okay? Mechanically speaking, I would like to see our wing official at the bottom come in a little bit stronger with their hand up, killing the clock here. It's a good ruling of forward progress, but let's be a little bit stronger because it makes us look a little bit more confident in that situation. Because what we don't want happening is the runner getting picked up and thrown down, and then we decide we're going to throw an unnecessary roughness for, a personal foul for picking up and slamming the runner here. Okay, let's get on the whistle, blow it, come in, kill the clock. Look, take a peek. If you're here, take a peek at that defensive coach. Does he want the timeout? He has 2 of them because it's going to be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 11 here. So does he want that timeout in this situation? He didn't. The clock's still running, but I'm thinking to myself, 3rd and 11. Okay, I'm on the defensive side of the ball. Whether I'm the line judge or whether I'm the field judge, I'm thinking to myself, most likely after this play, they're going to call a timeout. So after I clear all fouls on the field, I'm going to be looking for that head coach to call timeout. The other thing that's running through my head in this situation is, we've all watched football. What is the offense going to do in this situation at 3rd and 11? 3 plays are running through my mind. Draw, screen, and then, obviously a pass. They're probably not going to run up the middle or run a trap or anything like that. So if you can get those in your mind, it's better for you. But I know I still need to get to the 27-yard line. We've passed the ball. Quarterback breaks down, runs, gets to the 25. I know we're short of the line of the gain. You can see the timeout signal given right here by that coach. And then what does the kills the clock. So I should be looking right at the clock, whether it's here, wherever it is. My eyes should immediately go to that clock. And you can see the deep wing right here who's responsible for the clock coming in and stopping the clock. Make sure your clock matches that clock on the thing. We do a good job here. So we have 4th down and 2. The team on defense has 1 timeout remaining. But what do we think here now? 4th down and 2, a simple 5, such as an encroachment or even a running into the kicker, now gets us a first down. Okay? What happens if we have a delay a game? Well, we already had a timeout, so the clock's going to start on the snap. But here we go. 4th down and 2. The home team is in kicking formation. They're going to punt the ball with the numbering exception. They punt. And I believe that we have a fair catch signal given. No, we don't. Now the runner's tackled. Look at the clock. It's 2:10. First, let me start here. As a deep wing, we want to be, remember, our mechanics are going to save us here. We don't want to be too close to the ball. Get a little bit further back if you can, but you're responsible for the spot here. So 2:10, 2:09. Okay, 1 second run off. We're good here, right? That's something we're good with. Punt comes down, he gets tackled, 2:10 on the clock, comes in, 2:09, we're good, okay? So here we go. Clear everything of foul, come in and spot the ball, and let's get a clock. So here we go. We have 2:09 to go. We're not quite under 2 here in this situation. Team jumps in the end zone, we have a foul, kill the clock. Now let's, again, I've harped on this. If you watch my videos, we got to throw the flag, kill the clock, and let's run in with our preliminary signal to the referee. Okay? I know I sound like a broken record here, but this looks lazy. We're better than this. Okay? Let's act like we want to be here. We're in a 1-point game at the end of the first half. So here we go. We have 1st and 10 on the 31. We're going to go 5 yards from here. We're going to have 1st and 5 at the 36-yard line here. Umpire, jog in. Let's sorry, we weren't at the, not, as you can see from the scoreboard is wrong, right? Again, scoreboard's wrong. We're at the 32-yard line. So we're at 1st and 10 at the 32. So we're going from the 32 to the 37. What's the game clock going to start on? It's going to start on the snap because we had a change of possession due to a punt. So we should just be chopping it in this situation. So we went from, look at the, again, this is where we cannot trust for timeouts. We cannot trust for spots because the 42-yard line's here. That's the line to gain. We're at the 37-yard line. So we're on the snap with 2:09 to go. So we have a hold by the umpire right here. And we'll take a look at the hold in a second here. But the clock is at 2:04 and we're stopped. We're not quite under 2 minutes. So the offended team, which is the defense, does not get the option here. Okay. If we're at 1:59, then we talk to the defense. Do you want the game clock to go on the snap? Because it will go on the ready for play. But let's take a look at the hold first. Okay, and this is interesting philosophy here because we obviously have a screen pass here, and we get a holding call, I think, on this left tackle. And if you watch what happens here, what linemen like to do, I'm sorry, it's the center. What linemen like to do is, they're faking the block, right? They're trying to bait the defense in to get to the quarterback. A lot of times they'll shed that blocker. But what we can't let them do is shed the blocker and throw the blocker to the ground. Look what happens to the 50. He gets thrown to the ground right there, completely taking him out of the play, which is a holding foul. Okay, if he sheds the blocker or pushes the blocker in the back and the blocker stays up, like, look, the perfect difference is, look what happens to number 57 right here and compare it to what happens to number 50 here. 57 stays on their feet. That's not a hold. But 50 gets thrown to the ground. That is a hold. Okay? So, we cannot allow linemen just to throw them and take them completely out of the play by throwing them to the ground here. Okay? So here we go. Now, let's talk about here. We have a hold behind the line of scrimmage. In 2022, that spot foul, 10 yards, right? Now, in 2023, with the new change in rule, we're just going to go previous spot 10 yards and replay the down, okay? One thing that I don't, and I just want to bring minor details here, right? Who's he officiating? He's officiating this sideline, right? Maybe he's going to go talk to the coach. That's probably what he's going to do, but the clock is stopped. Let's clear all this foul, find out what we have, and then go talk to the coach. All right? So you can see the preliminary signal. So 2:04 to go. We talked about this earlier. We had a running play or a screen pass, I think. Let's go back and look. Yep, gets tackled. So the clock should be on the ready for play. And this is where things, can go bad for us. So what I want you to do is take a look at what the field judge does right here. Who's responsible for the clock, right? He's giving the wind signal. Okay? Now, take a look at what the referee does here. He just chops it in and does not wind. So here we go. We should be winding the clock here. And this is a situation, time is of the essence. If this happens, whether the referee winds and he should have winds and he should have just chopped it in at the snap, or vice versa, we have to stop the game and get the clock right. Okay, because these are precious seconds. So he chops 1001, 1002, 1003. We lost 3 seconds there. Okay, it might not seem like a lot, but it could be more if they're not in a hurry. Okay, so what the field judge should have done, and I think you can see him he's winding his arm right here. Got to stop the game before the snap occurs. Come in, tell the referee, or get on the 0-2-0 and say, we have to wind the clock. Okay, so we have 1st and 5. We should have, the way this should be, it's 1st and 20. At the wherever the spot of the foul was, but what the other thing that was happening here is you could see the referee is still counting while walking backwards after chopping in. Let's get our count before. Okay, so we have a pass, we have an interception, right? Interception at 2 minutes or to go in the game. So maybe 1:59, but then we lose 2 more seconds on this clock. Again, I want you to take a look at what the field judge does here. Okay? And this is why, we have to be even more sharp under 2 minutes. We have an interception, and the field judge is worried about a ball. They can't play without the football. They can't snap the ball without the football. The clock is stopped right now. Your eyes, as someone who is responsible for the clock, first off, you should be coming up for the spot because we're doing reverse mechanics. Number 2, you should be coming up and killing the ball, killing the clock, and looking at the clock in this situation here. So here we go. We should be having about and then you probably would have seen that you could have put 1:59 on the clock. Okay? I know some of you may feel that I'm being a little bit technical and nitpicky, but these things add up. Okay? Looking for a ball right now is not our number 1 priority. All right. Next, we have 1st and 10 with 1:57 to go on the clock. The team with 2 timeouts has the ball. We're at the 36-yard line, and we got to get to the 26-yard line. Okay, we're sitting there. We're all ready. Everyone needs to get set, right? So now we're all set. We're all ready to go here. Everyone's in position. We have a pass by the offense that gets deflected. All right, 1:53 on the clock. We know that it's a stop clock. We can relax. We can get a new ball in if it's muddy. Okay? If the ball is completed and the clock is running and they're short of the line of the game, we just got to hurry a little bit more. But now we can take our little breath. Think about second down and 10. The clock is stopped. We're at the 36-yard line. Count our players. Have the ball snapped. It's a running play. We got to run up. Gets pushed out of bounds, right? So this is a good situation to note whether or not, the team on offense is that team on the side of the field, but you say, what we do is, how I would do this is I would say I would have a 1st down out of bounds. We're going to be on the snap. Get on the 0-2-0. If you don't use an 0-2-0, again, get the ball into the umpire. You're on the same side as the referee. Yell to the referee on the snap. I give a cross, like an X, to tell my referee we're on the snap instead of winding the play. But let's take a look at when they go out of bounds and when the clock stops. They start to kill the clock here at 1:47. Okay, we lose a second or 2 right here, right? But we're on the snap here. 1st and 10 at the 22. We go to the 12. Is our side judge ready right now? 1:45 on the clock. They're still backing up. Is he counting the defense? Move this person out of the way. Tell them to get out by the blue track because you haven't counted your defense yet. Have you counted defense? Oh, maybe yes I did. I don't know. I just gave a signal so everyone thinks I counted. Right? Now we're going to snap the ball. And we're going to have a run up the middle. And we have a 1st down. We have 2nd down. Short of the line of the game, the clock is running. Umpire, get the ball down. Let's get moving. 1:20 and the clock is rolling. Hoping to get everyone set. We're set in position. We have a run up the middle. And we have a touchdown, right? I like the way this deep wing comes in. Signaling strong with 1:06 on the clock. Let's see what the clock does. Comes in, signals, 1:06, 1:05, 1:04. Again, another 2 seconds. I know I sound like a broken record, but we've lost at least 6 to 8 seconds already in this game, in these last couple minutes, okay? doesn't seem like much at the time when you start looking at 2 seconds and 2 seconds here, but when you start adding it up, it could become a game changer in those situations, okay? So obviously we have a try. No time comes off the clock on a try, so we're just going to move to the kickoff with 104. And, we all have game cards, okay? And there's a little spot for score and time. And there's one reason why you write the score and the time down. It's for situations where you have onside kicks. I'm sorry, there's a couple reasons. Where you have onside kicks and where you could have a fair catch. And no time should run off the clock. Okay, so keep that in mind when you watch this next little bit of play. So we have 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. We have a high pooch kick. Look what number 2 does. Number 2 gives a fair catch signal. Okay, we have 104 on the clock. Fair catch. Boom. Now take a look at the clock. I'll slow it back. How much time comes off on a fair catch? No time. Okay, we've lost another second here. 103. And guess what? It's happening to the team, the away team. Okay, so what's the away team already thinking? If they're, this is a simple one. You pull out your game card after the fair catch. You look at 21:15, 104 on the clock. Get to your referee. Please put 104 on the clock. Okay, just something as simple as that. Clock awareness, situational awareness in this situation. Okay, so we should have 104. We should have a lot more than 104. We should be, now we're up to about 10 seconds, 10 seconds off. So this team could have 113 instead of 103. And, they only have one timeout remaining, so it's even more imperative, this time. So here we go. We have first down. We're getting a new ball in. We'll move to the next play. 103 to go. We're at the 30-yard line. First down. Is the referee in position? Take a look. We just came off a kickoff. Is the referee in position? The referee's position should be out here, if I'm not mistaken. Did he count? I don't know. Is he in position? No. Do we have a forward or a backwards pass here? Let's look at that. Looks backwards to me, right? Hopefully the line judge is punching backwards in this situation, because what can happen? What happens if he throws another pass? Which he doesn't look like he's going to do, but we have to be aware of what they can do in that situation. So now we have runner run out of bounds. Killing the clock. Clock operator was paying attention that time. So here we have a second down and 5 yards to go. Maybe less than 5 in this situation, or we have a short 5. So we know 5 gets you 1, or a simple 5 by the defense will get us a first down. The clock is stopped because the runner was out of bounds. Again, is the referee in the right position? We don't have a left-handed quarterback here. Why isn't the referee over here? Quarterback runs. Now, I talked earlier about knowing the line to gain, right? Knowing the line to gain. The line to gain is the 40-yard line here. Let's watch what the head linesman does in this situation. Comes up with his hand up, okay? We should be stopping the clock now with 48 seconds to go. But he doesn't realize that we're at the line to gain. Seconds matter here. We lose another second and a half in this situation. Actually, you get a tackle with 50 seconds, right? Down. We lose another 2 seconds, 3 seconds in this situation. We're up to about 13 to 14 seconds here. And we stop the clock. But this is when, again, this is when things can go haywire, when we look like we don't know what we're doing. So we have the defense going to the sideline here. And now the offensive coach is like, what's going on here? He's trying to call his play. Calling him over here. Do we have the first down in bounds or out of bounds? Let's go back and look. First down in bounds. So what happens? We should be going on the ready for play unless we had a timeout, which nobody seems to be sure whether we have a timeout or not. We'll go forward. The referee doesn't seem to know. He's calling both teams out. Did we have but look, if you look at this clock down here, looks to be was there a timeout? Now both teams have one, so maybe the defense called timeout. I'm not really sure. But we should be winding the clock here, but we had a timeout go. Again, this is where the confusion adds right in this situation. And I'm not sure what the referee announced, but then the referee winds the clock. If you're going to wind the clock here, why did you allow the teams to go to the sidelines? Okay, you gave an unfair advantage to the offense by giving them time to set up a play in a situation where they would have needed to get on the ball because the clock was going to start. See what I mean by how this really makes us not look like we're prepared. So winding the clock, we have a pass down the field, it gets intercepted, okay? Runner gets tackled, 38.5. See how quick that clock operator's quick whenever that home team has the ball. And I say that not the jest on the clock operator, but they're more aware when when their team has the ball. It's just a matter of fact in this situation. So 38.5 seconds to go here. Offense has the home team has the ball going from the 45 to the 35-yard line in this situation here. Stop clock. We're in position. We have a pass over the middle. Look at him. Gets down. So we're killing the clock here with 31.3 seconds. Look how quick clock operator stops the clock here. Boom, he's down, stopped. He maybe lost 3/4 of a second, but that's fine. So we have a first down in bounds. But I think if you go back and look here, you'll see the deep wing on the head linesman side. They're coming down the call of timeout. And the deep wing is really aware, and that's a really good job by the deep wing in this situation to be aware, because the head linesman has a lot of stuff going on right there. Okay, so the deep wing comes down and is aware of the timeout by the coach, but as you can see now they have 2 timeouts left. So there really wasn't a timeout in that last situation. So we're in a timeout. Each team has 1. We're going to start the game clock on the snap, but again, we got to get in position. We're in a stop clock, and we're coming out of a timeout situation. Referees don't chop the game clock in, or the play clock in, until your officials are in position here. So we have a run, and we get a touchdown here. All right. So the next play is a kick. We have a try, then we have a kickoff and a kneel down. But this isn't to rag on the crew, because I'm sure we can pick on a lot of different games where situations like this happen. But we have to be better aware of the clock. We have to be hustling into position. We have to be doing our preset routine just like we did it all during the game, but we have to do it more efficiently. Okay, so hopefully you got something out of this tape. We'll do some more mechanics tape later. Again, if you can, if you have questions or comments, did I mess up a rule, which that could possibly happen, leave it in the comments, and I'll gladly respond. And, let's start getting ready for the 2023 season. It'll be here right around the corner. Good luck, everyone.